Hello, welcome to Your Simple Golf Swing. I'm Matt. Well, the title of today's video is The World's Most Natural Golf Swing. And I believe that the Mike Austin golf swing, which the Your Simple Golf Swing method is entirely based on, is the most natural golf swing that the world has ever seen. Now, that's a pretty big claim, pretty big boast, but you have to stop and ask, okay, what defines a natural golf swing? Well, Mike Austin, he talked about using all the different joints. He called them levers in the body. That's the 2 ankles, 2 knees, 2 hip joints, 2 shoulders, 2 elbow joints, and 2 wrists. He talked about using all of the levers, all the joints in the body in the most natural, efficient, and unimpeded way possible. I'm going to take that a little bit further. To me, what constitutes a natural swing is a swing that is going to use your body in the way that you already naturally use it. Let me explain that to you. We all learn as a little toddler how to crawl, then we learn how to stand, then we learn how to walk. Nobody really teaches us. Nobody ever taught you how to crawl. Your parents may have encouraged you to stand and encouraged you to walk, but you learned pretty much on your own. And it's been a natural part of your life for your entire life. So the golf swing should work very similar to simply walking and standing. There shouldn't be any weird, strange body positions that you need to get into and try to train your body to do. Because then the further you get away from natural movement, the more unnatural those movements become. Therefore, the more unnatural a swing becomes. When I first started learning golf, I tried teaching myself, bought the old VHS tapes. I had a tape by a guy named John Elliott. Now, I love John Elliott. He was a great teacher, and I learned an awful lot from John Elliott. But one of the things that he taught, one of the first things he taught about the stance, is he said, well, you want to kind of get in a position like a shortstop, right? And he had a lot of knee bend and lean forward like he's getting ready to field a ground ball or something. And that's how a lot of people teach. They teach that you get real crouched down, but that's a departure from what your body naturally does on a daily basis. Let me show you what I mean. When we stand, we normally stand, when we stand erect, our knees are usually flexed a little bit. They're not bent and they're not locked. They're just flexed a little bit. The Mike Austin swing, or the Your Simple Golf Swing method, it does the same thing. In our stance, we're standing with a little bit of a knee flex. Very natural thing. Every one of you do that day in and day out. Our weight shift going into our backswing, just like you're walking. As you walk, you take a step forward, your leg bends, and the other one bends, and then it straightens, and then bends, and straightens, and bends. At the same time as this is happening, your hips are shifting like this. For women, it's a lot more noticeable than it is for men. But as you're walking, you're basically doing this. And in our golf swing, we're doing the same thing. This is what Mike Austin meant when he talked about using all the joints and levers in our body in the most natural, unimpeded way as possible. When we do our weight shift in the Your Simple Golf Swing method, what we're doing is we're standing with that little bit of knee flex. And all we're doing is we're straightening one leg while we're bending the other, just like we're walking. That's all we're doing for our weight shift. Simple as that. Very natural movement. And then when it comes to the takeaway, the backswing, and everything, Mike Austin talked about how we all know how to just turn and shake somebody's hand, and that's pretty much what we're doing here. The only thing that we're doing different than normally standing is we're just leaned over a little bit. We're not leaned way over like this. We're just leaned over a little bit. We move our weight back behind our heels to counteract that little bit of weight forward movement, and we're just turning like we're gonna shake somebody's hand. It's as simple as that. It's a very natural thing. If you take a look at golfers like Jack Nicklaus used a very Mike Austin-like swing. If you look at the way Jack transfers his weight to his right side, straightening that right knee, and then he transfers his weight back to his left side, straightening that left knee and bending that right knee and swinging hard into the ball. We can take a look at Freddie Couples. Freddie Couples, same thing. As he goes into his backswing, he straightens that right leg, just like I showed you. And then as he goes into his forward swing, now that right leg bends as the left leg starts to straighten, and then he swings through the ball. It's a very natural movement, but it's a very natural swing. You're not causing your body to do anything that you don't already do on a daily basis. We take thousands of steps every day. Why don't we use that same motion in our golf swing? Why don't we do the same thing where we're shifting our weight back and forth, right to left, left to right? Same thing. There's no reason for us to come up with some sort of conjoled, weird body position when we do these movements on a natural basis every day of our lives. It's really simple. It's very natural. There's nothing difficult about it. Some people will hear that the single plane swing is more natural than the two plane swing. Well, I want to address that right here. The single plane and the two plane is nothing more than how a player routes the club. Okay? If you're routing the club on one plane, we've got the plane of the shaft, the angle here, and you come back like that, and you come down like that, and you keep it under that plate of glass that you see in Ben Hogan's book, that is a single plane swing. Hogan used it in his book. Mike Dunaway swings with a single plane. That is nothing more than how the club is routed back. It's not an entire swing theory, okay? Mike Austin, on the other hand, he used the two-plane swing. The two-plane swing starts back and then it lifts up. So it operates on this plane and then this plane. That's the only difference between a one-plane and a two-plane. But the rest of the swing, as you can see with Mike Dunaway and Mike Austin, they do the exact same swing. The plane has nothing to do with it. It's not the swing itself. The swing is using your body in its naturally designed manner, using those joints, using those levers unimpeded and in the most natural way that you would, the most natural way that you do day in and day out. We're doing nothing more than shifting and turning, just like we're walking, and we're adding a shoulder turn to it, like we're gonna turn and shake somebody's hand or turn and grab something off the shelf. So let's do that again. So as you can see, I just have a little bit of knee flex. I'm not bent way over. You know, when we're standing, when we're hanging out, waiting around for somebody or whatever, we're not standing there bent way over. We're just kind of standing there. And occasionally we'll shift our weight to one leg, straightening it up. Hip up high, this hip is low, our hand on our hip, and we're just standing there waiting for somebody, like standing there waiting for somebody to tee off. Maybe we'll get tired and we'll shift to the other one. That's all we're doing in this swing. That's why it's so natural. So here, I'll show you again. Standing relatively erect, like we just saw Jack Nicklaus and Freddie Couples. And then all we're gonna do is we're gonna shift the weight and we're gonna fire. That's all there is to it. You shift the weight one way and shift it back the other way with a hip turn. I teach the entire swing, from the way you take the grip, the way that you do your setup, your alignment, your stance, everything. Everything you need to know to be able to replicate this swing and perform it in no time at all. If you're interested in the course, just go down into the link in the description where you can click on it and go to the web page that tells you a little bit about the course. So anyways, most natural swing in golf. Remember, if it's a departure from what you do naturally on a daily basis, then it's not as natural as something like this. Again, let's show it again. All I'm going to do is weight shift and weight shift, just like I'm walking. Just like that. Thanks for joining me. Happy golfing.